Hey guys, this is Gabe from the Outer Rim, and today I'll be recapping some of the latest Star Wars news. So on July 13th, StarWars.com made the announcement that there will be a new Star Wars animated show coming to Disney Plus in 2021. Reading from the announcement, the series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars, as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. Members of the Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possesses a singular exceptional skill which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In the post-Clone War era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find a new purpose. As for the crew behind the show, Dave Filoni is going to be an executive producer, but that really doesn't say all that much about how involved he will actually be. Being the head of Lucasfilm Animation, his name is going to be on any show they produce. If I had to guess, I think he'll probably have roughly the same amount of involvement as he did on Resistance, which the crew of that show said was, they compared it to how Lucas was involved in the first 6 seasons of the Clone Wars, where he oversaw everything and gave guidance, but he left most of the day-to-day running of the show to the showrunners on that series. The ones who will be actually running the Bad Batch show are producer Athena Yvette Portilla, who has been a producer on all three main Star Wars animated series and was also primary producer on Resistance. Brad Rao will serve as supervising director, which is the role Filoni filled on Clone Wars and Rebels. Rao has been an episodic director on Rebels, Forces of Destiny, and Resistance, and Jennifer Corbett will serve as head writer on The Bad Batch. Her only previous Star Wars credits are 3 episodes from Season 2 of Resistance. So that is all we know about the show right now. There have been very little story details outside of that. I gotta say I wasn't terribly excited about hearing this when I first heard it. I enjoyed the Bad Batch arc, but I thought that the titular characters, while fun for 4 episodes, they weren't terribly interesting as people. Each one had one major trait, and there was very little in the way of depth. And so I can't say that I'm really thrilled to see more of them. However, I think it's a pretty safe guess that they will take these characters and develop each one of them. And Star Wars Animation so far has done a very good job of taking side characters and giving them great character depth and giving them fantastic stories. Characters like Darth Maul, who only had one line in The Phantom Menace, and he's become one of the most interesting characters in all of Star Wars. So I have every confidence that they can take those characters and do something with them. Also, if you remember at the end of the Bad Batch, Echo joined their crew, and he's already a pretty interesting character with all the crap that the Techno Union put him through. But in the days since the announcement, the thing that has me most excited is the overall setting of the show. While the latter end of the Imperial era, where the rebellion was rising up, has been very well covered in the Star Wars universe, there's very little canon, even in books and comics, that covers the time directly after Order 66 and the rise of the Empire. So setting a TV series in that time period will be a pretty fresh setting for the Star Wars universe, and that time period certainly lends itself to very interesting and exciting story possibilities. And for just a little bit of very irresponsible speculation, I think there's a pretty good possibility of some known and familiar characters crossing over into the show. The most likely, in my opinion, would be Captain Rex. We know that he went and rescued several of his fellow clones, namely Wolf and Gregor, and for all we know, he could be the one that rescues the Bad Batch at the start of the show. Coming back to save Echo is just the kind of thing he would do. So personally, I think it's pretty likely that we'll see his character pop up at some point in the show. So while the news didn't initially thrill me, I've come around to it. I'm kind of excited for it. And as someone who loves all the Star Wars animated shows, just the announcement of a new show coming has me very excited. It's not the show I would have picked if I had a choice, but I am very interested to see what they give us. So color me optimistic, if not entirely thrilled. But seriously, where is the Rebels sequel series already? So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See ya!